Hello my dear friends and welcome to my channel. My name is Barbara and today we're going to be looking at Mars in Pisces. So this video is for you if you have this placement. If you're a cross watcher, welcome as well. Mars in Pisces is one of my favorite Mars placements. I know a lot of people might say some negative things about Mars in Pisces, but I don't necessarily see it this way. I find that this placement is actually very, very powerful when applied correctly. Now let's get into that. So Mars basically deals with how we go about our action, how we get motivated in life, what is going to put our goals into action, our goals, right? It's that inner ambition and these types of things. It's also how we handle conflict, and it can also be how we express ourselves sexually as well, that Mars placement. Now, Pisces, very interesting energy because Mars is ruled by Aries. Pisces is more watery. Mars is that fiery, passionate type of energy. So Pisces energetically is more so go with the flow. It's more so kind of like been there, done that. I've kind of done this whole game already before. They might not necessarily be ambitious when it comes to the same things that everybody else might be ambitious about. For them, maybe working in a corporate structure might be the worst possible outcome because Pisces very much wants to go with the flow. Piscean energy wants to wake up today, end up over there tomorrow, fly to this other place. It's very much that go with the flow energy. If you look at the two little fishes, the symbol for Pisces, there are two little fishes that are swimming into infinity. There's no beginning, there's no end. And Piscean energy is very much like that drop in the ocean. That metaphor of like when you put a drop in the ocean, you can't find it anymore. That's that Piscean energy. It's like it merges, it gets lost into its surroundings sometimes, especially Mars and Pisces. Because if you guys have this placement, it's going to be very much that whole merging energy, right? You might merge to your surroundings. But what I will say for Mars and Pisces is you guys are going to be highly psychic, highly intuitive, very clairsentient. You guys just know things. Whatever type of psychic gift you guys might have, whether it's clairsentience, claircognizance, clairvoyance, it's on a huge range. You guys are definitely going to have it. And whether you guys are aware of it or not, you guys just might have that strong gut feeling. That is that inner intuition. That's really what intuition is all about. It's that inner knowing of which direction to go in. So for Mars and Pisces, my suggestion for this energy is always listen to your heart. Follow your dreams, go after those goals that you guys have because you guys have huge goals. You guys have huge dreams, these huge ambitions. And why I love this particular placement is because in order to manifest on this physical plane and this physical reality, everything starts off in the astral plane first, starts off in the metaphysical plane, something that's not formed yet in that imagination and that dream world where you guys so naturally are. So for you guys, Mars and Pisces, it's going to be a matter of figuring out how to grab it from the ethers. For you guys, sometimes it feels like it's so close, like it's right there, like you're on the brink of something. Because for you guys, you just kind of have to reach, grab it, and kind of anchor it into this physical reality. Now, how are you guys going to go about this? It's going to be up to you guys. Definitely learning to balance that energy within because you guys have that strong visualization. That factor is going to be very good in terms of manifestation, yes. But you guys are going to have to figure out a way to put those dreams into action, go after those goals. That's where you guys might struggle a little bit because Piscean energy isn't structured and this physical reality is very structured. So you guys might kind of feel like you struggle in this physical plane and this physical reality. For you guys, maybe a very structured job or just like a structured way of doing things and just being is going to kind of feel like you're suppressing your soul, yourself. It's like the soul might feel like it's suffocating in these types of situations because the soul is so expansive. It's larger than life. When you have Mars and Pisces, it's the dreamer. You guys have all these dreams. You guys feel like you're here for something bigger, and absolutely you are. But the thing is, you guys are going to have to figure out how to grab it, how to go after it, how to put it into action in this physical reality. And honestly, once you guys get that ball rolling, because honestly, I think that's the secret to manifestation is actually pairing the visualization with the action. That's kind of where some people get lost in the ethers. It's like they think they just visualize and it's going to come through. Well, sometimes for some people that might be true, but that's more rare than it is common. It's all about putting the action along with your visualization. So let's say you guys want to be in a film, for example, Mars and Pisces. That's very Mars and Pisces like because you guys are already in a film. You guys already feel like this. You guys already feel like maybe there's cameras around all the time. And that's why I love Mars and Pisces because when these people apply that Mars and Piscean energy to its ultimate potential, it literally feels like for them they are living in a movie. Their lives can literally be this huge thing, right? This huge show. It's not really like Leo energy where it's like they're putting on the theatrics for other people. It's more so like romanticizing life, romanticizing these places, going to this beautiful place, going to that beautiful place. It's all about romanticizing things. So you guys are going to be very gifted in that area. So you guys can find yourselves very interested in things like film, theater, music, all these artsy types of things. Also, you guys are going to find yourselves very interested in healing, metaphysics, spiritual world, the spiritual realms. Mars in Pisces can very much become the master of this physical reality, because to become a master of this physical reality, you have to understand the spiritual planes. It makes sense why there isn't a huge focus on spirituality if we think about it. I know you guys are going to catch my drift, because if people actually understood the nature of the physical plane, and that it's not just about what's physically in front of you, that it deals with the spiritual realms, the spiritual aspect of things, the metaphysical aspect of things, the energetic aspect of things. This is kind of like, in a way, the secret, right? Because it's like everything's manifesting up there first. It's always a thought. It always starts out as a thought. And for you guys, Mars and Pisces, you guys are definitely going to have a lot of these. So some things for you guys, the struggles with this energy is, and I think this is kind of maybe where you might get the bad rap, is you guys might get lost in the ethers. You guys might get lost in your mind, in the illusions, the delusions. It can absolutely go into that energy, but honestly, at the end of the day, all of the signs have a light side and a shadow side. And the thing is like, if you're unaware of this energy, you can't go into the shadow. It's just the nature of this earth plane. It kind of takes over when you're unaware of it. But this is why you guys want to master this. So a lot of you guys are going to be all about mastering the unconscious. A lot of you guys are going to be natural psychologists. You guys are just going to know things, is really what that is. You guys are just going to understand things. You're going to be interested in these things, the subconscious, what's hidden, what's underneath the surface. So the 12th house, which is Piscean, is the hidden house. This is the hidden energy, but it's not technically hidden. It's just not visible to the physical reality. That's what the difference is. It's not hidden in the sense where it's like it's secretive. It's still there. It's just the everyday person might not necessarily see it. But for you guys, Mars in Pisces, you guys see it, you guys get it, you guys get all these concepts already. You guys are kind of like naturally born with it. Because when we look at astrology, it's kind of like a code. So for you guys are naturally coded with this energy within of the metaphysical realms and the metaphysical planes, the metaphysical reality. This is why a lot of you guys might love spending a lot of time on your own. This is where you guys get inspired. If you guys are too busy and you guys are overwhelmed by all of the energies, the people, and everything, because the thing is, when you're a psychic intuitive person, you can't turn it off. And the struggle is, especially in the physical reality that we're in, obviously it's getting better, way better than it was before when people were way less aware. But the struggle with the physical reality is when people are unaware, it's very dark. A lot of people's unconscious shadows, shadow traits, shadow belief systems, all these types of things are in the driver's seat for them. Because most people are operating out of their lower nature and their lower wounding and whatever it may be, right? It's on a range, just belief systems. Piscean energy picks up on that. So for you guys, it's a struggle, because it's like when you guys are unaware, you guys might merge to these people around you, to these situations around you, to other people's dark things, because the Piscean energy deals with that unconscious energy, and you guys pick up on it. Whether you are aware of it or not, you're still picking up on it. It's the nuances of energy. This is why Mars in Pisces is going to be very good at picking up on the nuances of emotions. This is why you guys are going to be very good at eliciting emotional reactions out of people. Now, not necessarily in the shadow sense, but I mean more so, let's say you guys write a film, or you guys write a story, or you guys write a poem. You guys are going to be able to pick up on that subtlety when it comes to emotions. That's that gift the Pisces has, that you guys deal with these subtle realms, the realms that most people don't even maybe know how to word, right? They don't even know how to put it into words sometimes, how people are feeling. Sometimes people don't even know whether they're happy or sad. Those are just like the range of emotions that the everyday person is aware of. But the Piscean person is going to be able to pick up on the subtlety, the nuance, right? Sometimes they pick up on like a melancholy type of energy, but also connected with like a bittersweet energy where it actually feels positive. These subtleties of emotions that you guys are masters at, right? So this is why you guys are going to be very gifted when it comes to things like this: music, film, theater, or just healing, being a healer, because Piscean energy is that healing energy overall. So honestly, the world is your oyster, but my suggestion for Piscean energy is figure out a way to hone it in, figure out a way to reel it in, take all those vast ideas that you guys might have and figure out a way to focus them, to channel them in one direction. Because it's like, honestly, when Pisces is able to channel those thoughts and ideas in one direction, and especially if they're able to kind of take off all the external energies around them, off of them, and cleanse yourself of all these other people's energies, honestly, I find this energy to be very unstoppable. It's like full force, because it's in the Mars. Mars is pulling you constantly, put it into action, go after things. So Piscean energy, the struggle, maybe this is where people see it negatively, is like it gets lost, it merges to the environment, to people's unconscious, to just like the overall collective unconscious. Because the collective unconscious, if you really think about it, is very dark. There's a lot of healing that needs to take place in the collective, and we've gotten pretty far, but there's ways to go still. So it's like the Mars and Pisces person can get lost in that. They can get lost in like the waters. It's that drop in the ocean. They get lost, they merge. Then you guys might have a hard time figuring out what you guys want to do, or what motivates you guys, or what your goals and ambitions are, because you've merged a lot to your environment. Maybe societal expectations, maybe things you guys see on social media, because all these things are constantly being thrown at us, and that's for a reason, because the mind and the visualization is the most powerful thing. So it's like you guys guys could have your own idea, something that you guys want to do, and see something online maybe, and it's like, I don't know, maybe you guys wanted to travel somewhere. You see another place online, maybe this other person went there, and you guys want to go there instead. And it's like now it's pulling you in this other direction that might not necessarily be your own. I hope that makes sense. So it's kind of like with the Mars and Pisces energy, it almost feels like you guys are at this constant war within and in the astral planes and in the metaphysical planes, and just like with energies around you, and especially on this earth plane, there are a lot of energies. There's a lot of everything down here, honestly. For people who are unconscious and they're unaware, that kind of takes over for them. And then the Mars and Pisces person, it's like you guys kind of have to really master your own energy is what I'm gonna say, and figure out who you guys truly are, what your likes, wants, needs, and desires are, because it's like when you guys hone that energy back into yourselves, reel it back in, really figure these things out. Yeah, you can engage with these people. You'll be aware like, okay, that person has that kind of thing going on and that kind of energy, and maybe this place that I'm at is like dark energetically, but you guys don't take it home with you. And that's the difference, because it's like, it's almost like energetic maintenance. A lot of people, because it's the physical reality, yeah, they're gonna go to the gym for their like physical appearance or whatever their reason is. Maybe they just want to be physically healthy, like whatever it is. But a lot of people don't take care of their spiritual health, and that I want to say is almost even more important, because it's like that's where everything is starting. Everything is rooted in the spiritual realms, in the higher realms, in those metaphysical planes. Everything that manifests eventually into the physical reality started out once as a thought, as an idea floating around in the spiritual plane. You caught it, and then you add the emotional energy to it, because energy in motion is emotion. And then as soon as it starts to pick up that emotional momentum, it's slowly starting to get closer and closer into the physical reality. So that's kind of how manifestation works. And you guys are definitely going to understand that when you do have Mars and Pisces. But I love this energy. Like I said in the beginning, I love this energy. These people live their lives like a movie. You will see Mars and Piscean people literally manifest these things as if they're actually in a film. That's how big they think of things. And it's almost kind of like there's almost like they feel like there's cameras recording their lives. And it's like, it's intense moments more so. It's not like the theatrical aspect of things. It's more so like the intense emotions and the intense moments and these intense like experiences, the things that are out of this world, things that maybe the everyday person who is just like living the normal life, you know, we would call this the resting life, doing the normal life, kind of just like going to their work and then having that typical like 9 to 5, they come home to their family. And not that there's anything wrong with that, absolutely not. But the Mars and Piscean person wants it bigger. They want it bigger. They want it to be some form of movie. This is what you guys are constantly kind of feeling like you're in some sort of movie. Like your life is just surreal. Like if you were to tell people your story, they would be like so surprised, because it's like this happened and then that happened and then I went here, then I went there. There's a lot of versatility with this energy, because it's very much go with the flow. Now what I will say for Mars and Pisces is you guys might attract very interesting people into your lives, because Piscean energy is very non-judgmental. Okay, it's very open, it's very healing also. So be aware of energy vampires. Be aware of people who kind of see the vision you guys have and want to siphon off of it, kind of like opportunists. The thing is, the beautiful thing about the times that we're living in is it's very easy to live your life purpose or your dreams because of the internet. You guys can put things online and kind of do things for yourselves. But back in the day, it was very different. It was even harder. The way that I always psychically see it is like, I don't know if any of you guys know anything about like science, but it's like in science, it's like when something is a solid object, the particles are closer together. And when something is maybe like a gas or whatever it is, not a solid object, the particles are further apart. So that's how energetically it feels like to me, at least. When I tap into it, that's kind of what I see. It's like back in the day, everything was kind of more dense. It was more solid in that sense. It's because of the energy and the emotions and all these types of things. Now it's more spread apart. It's easier, right, to operate on this plane. It's still hard, definitely, for Piscean people and just more psychic and intuitive people overall. It's still a challenge, but it is getting there into those higher vibrations and higher emotions and all these wonderful things. So that's kind of what's going on with the Piscean energy. It's like you guys are already there. You guys are already in those higher realms. You guys might feel like you're out of body a lot of the time. You're always dreaming. And it's like it might be hard, again, for you guys to focus on something, especially with that structure. Especially let's say you guys are interested in having a business or whatever it is. You guys might have to work on creating a structure for yourself. You guys might have those people who see your vision and they see this light, that powerful third eye manifestation energy, the visualization, and they might want to siphon off of it. It might kind of give you the container you're looking for, and that's great. At the end of the day, you still want to be able to work with people, absolutely. And if you guys feel intuitively like this is the good way to go and that this person has good and decent intentions, absolutely 100% go for it. But the thing is, you can sometimes attract darker people or just people who have a lot of things going on because they see the light. Up until this point, unfortunately, it's very capitalistic. So a lot of people might see you guys as very good at anchoring things into this physical reality, and they just might even want to be around you, honestly. Let's say it's not an opportunist. They might just be your friends. Sometimes for like Mars and Pisces, you guys might attract people around you who it's like they want a little bit of what you got. What I've noticed with like Piscean energy, 12th house, or just like people who are Neptunian overall, is like people see this within you before you guys see it within yourselves. You guys might attract a lot of energy vampires. It's like Piscean energy is always looking for love. They're always looking for those higher vibrations. And it's like if it's unhealed, it can go into merging. All of the water placements unfortunately struggle with this. They can go into codependency, abandonment wounds, awareness. right? That's all we can have at the end of the day, is bringing it back, recognizing your own power, recognizing the strength that you guys have in the visualization aspect of things, and balancing it in the way where it's like you guys actually put it into action. That's the biggest suggestion I have for this placement, because this placement has so much potential. But what I will also say is, when they're not living in this potential that they feel like they have, they might go into escapism, they might go into avoidance, they might go into addictions of some sort that's unarranged. It can be through substances, it can be through alcohol, it can be through food, it can be unarranged. Kind of like, in a way, you're feeling disappointed. This is kind of how I feel with the Piscean energy overall. There's always this energy of disappointment attached to them, because it's like, sometimes, I don't know if you guys heard that pop in the background, but I guess confirmation, because sometimes what happens with this energy, two things can happen. One of the things is you guys get what you want, and you guys get what you dreamed of, and you guys get what you wanted to manifest, and it's not what you guys had thought, or it's not how you guys had envisioned. Because whatever you guys are envisioning something, all of us, whenever we dream of something and we're envisioning it and we're in higher realms and higher vibrations, because we're in the imagination, it's like it's always higher vibrational, because down here it's never going to be quite like it seems. It's just the nature of this plane. It's very dense energetically, especially compared to the higher realms, especially compared to what Piscean people know, what they're aware of. So my question always is, for this particular energy, is like, just because it doesn't end up how you wanted it to, or how you dreamt of it, or like it's not that ideal version, because it does bounce off of that Virgo energy, because Piscean energy has this idealism connected to it. That's that romanticization. So if it doesn't turn out the way that you wanted it to, does that mean you should stop dreaming? That's always my question for this particular energy, because what happens is, going back to what I was saying, it goes two ways. Either you guys get what you wanted and it's not what you guys had envisioned, or you guys don't get what you want and then you guys are disappointed. It's like you guys aren't living up to this dream that you guys have, that you guys know you can manifest. That's the thing with this energy. It knows that it can bring things through. It's just the nature of this physical reality. There's a lot of distractions down here, and it's like, it's just the nature of the plane, honestly. So because of that, it's like sometimes then the Mars and Pisces person gets disappointed, right? That's why there's this disappointment energy attached to Piscean people. And it's very subtle. It's very, very subtle, and most people wouldn't notice, honestly, unless they are clairsentient themselves. But what tends to happen is, like, then they might go into avoidance, then they might go into the escapism, then they might start to dig themselves into these deeper and deeper holes. And that's the struggle with this energy, okay? It's the escapism aspect of it that's connected to that disappointment energy. So awareness, you know, being aware that you guys might be this way, or that it could go into this direction. But overall, honestly, going back to what I was saying earlier, one of the most powerful Mars signs, if you guys go and research any Mars and Pisces people, you guys will see that their lives, like, were basically like a movie. I guess these are people who are more so maybe in the public eye. And it's interesting, because the Mars and Pisces to the everyday person might seem like they are delusional themselves. But honestly, I always say it, to get things that you want in life, you have to be delusional. Honestly, you do. And it's like, you have to believe in these goals and these dreams and these desires more than the people around you. And sometimes, honestly, it's better not to even tell them, especially if you guys have this huge goal and this huge dream, because it's like they'll just energetically affect it, whether they're aware of it or not. Or maybe you guys might have a little bit of doubt within you, and then they'll feed that little bit of doubt into this huge amount of doubt. So that's another suggestion that I have for Piscean energy overall. You'll notice you guys probably attract a lot of Virgo people into your life who kind of want to contain all of this energy that you guys have. So kind of creating this balance for yourselves. And when people say things to you, it's coming from their perception. It's coming from their frame of reality. They might not think that it's possible, but for you guys very much do think that it's possible. And it is. And that's what I'm here to tell you guys. So just kind of going after those dreams. It's dreams. Everybody has some sort of dream in this life, some sort of goal, some sort of ambition, something that's larger than life. And usually you'll notice the people who get there are the ones who believed in it, and they believe in themselves. So one more thing before I wrap up this video, I also want to talk about is, because you guys are aware of like the nature of like the physical realm and the metaphysical realm and the psychic planes and the physical planes and all these types of things, you guys are going to be very into the metaphysical planes, in the sense where it's like you guys are going to be very good at going out of body. You guys might be very much about like going into like altered states. You guys might be interested in things like plant medicines, like anything that gets you guys into altered states. But at the end of the day, it's balance. And honestly, what I'm always going to say for Piscean energy overall is figure out ways to close your auric field, because it's like if you do things that open you guys up or things that shoot you guys out of body even more, you guys can get stuck in those realms, in the sense where it's like you're just dreaming all the time. You're not putting it into action. And that's exactly what you guys want to avoid. You want to reel it back in. I said that many, many times in this video. So with all that being said, I'm going to wrap up the Mars and Pisces video here. I hope you guys enjoyed my video on Mars and Pisces. If you did, please do like, share, and subscribe. And I hope you all have a beautiful rest of the day.